It's a round 2 encounter between a Galway team that were defeated in their opening game in the competition against Kerry last week against last year's All-Ireland Intermediate champions Westmeath. Well, let's start as always by giving you a quick check on the two teams that are starting this game. Two late changes on the Galway team, which were announced during the week. Starting roles have been handed to Siobhan Dively, who will wear number 20, and also to number 26, Eva Noon. They come into the team respectively at midfield and at left half forward. Alva Deverin from Moycullen makes way in the centre of the field. Mairead Shoiga, the number 12 and left half forward, who is also due to start, makes way at the 11th hour. Well, this is Westmeath's opening game in the competition. It's very much been a baptism of fire for them. Two away games this year. They start off here in Tuam today, and of course on Saturday next they're down in Fitzgerald Stadium to take on the Kingdom. For Westmeath this afternoon, their manager Michael Finneran has named a team that has served them fairly well throughout the league. Amy Alford has been named at centre half back, while at midfield Fiona Coyle and Tracy Dillon will wear 8 and 9. St. Loman's Sarah Dillon has been selected at centre half forward, and also at full forward they'll be hoping that Ciara Giles can supply the scores that they will need today. Well, it's time for us to hear from our big match analyst. Gus Chapman, by the way, is today's match referee. He's the man in the middle. Recently took charge of the Connacht final here between Galway and Mayo. He's been on the refereeing panel now since 2008. It gives us an opportunity to hear from Joanna Connolly, who's our co-commentator for this match, a former All-Ireland winner with Galway. And I suppose very much the chips are down here today, in the sense that Galway lost last weekend against Kerry, and they know that a victory is vital, as indeed do Westmeath here this afternoon.
Yeah, John, today is Westmeath's furthest day out, so they'll be gunning to get a victory under their belts if they're to stay in the competition and have a chance going down to Kerry next week. And for Galway, who did finish strong against Kerry last week, unfortunately didn't come away with the win, so it's vital for them to get the win here today.
Talk to me a little bit about the conditions that we're going to be dealing with today. As we look out at the two teams doing their warm-up, Westmeath and camera shot at the minute, but blowing down towards that goal, somewhat maybe at an angle. There's a very strong breeze that will definitely be favouring the team playing from left to right.
Yes, it's fairly windy here today, all right. It's still dry, and definitely the team playing from left to right in the first half anyway, you'd imagine they would have a good advantage. It's kind of blown slightly across, but yeah, definitely wind advantage for the team playing from the town side, as we'd say here in Tuam. Yeah,
no doubt about it. The team that will be playing from the town end will have that wind advantage in the opening half. Talk to me a little bit, if you will, about the two changes that Galway have made. One significant in the middle of the field, the other, of course, another marquee player in Mairead Shoiga not starting either. So those two changes, what do you make of those?
Yeah, well, Siobhan Dively has been with Galway for the last few years. She had a short break there and back in again. Obviously coming from their All-Ireland win there in January with her club Kilkerran-Clonberne. So I'd have no fear of Siobhan whatsoever. Very, talented player, very capable. Marie and Alva Deverin, who also is capable and hopefully is available on the sideline to come on as a sub should she be required. Mairead Shoiga there, great left foot on her, works very hard. Unfortunate to see her not starting, but as I said, similarly, hopefully she's in a position to come on to finish out the game. Eva Noon, super player as well there again, great speed and great win under their belts with Siobhan, both Kilkerran-Clonberne players. So look, only adding to the team, and as I said, the two girls who aren't selected to start, hopefully in a position to come on and add to the team at the end of the game.
Kilkerran-Clonberne obviously need no introduction from their exploits in the club championships. I reckon now maybe half a dozen players on the Galway starting 15 today. Their presence going to be absolutely vital for Galway. They bring that winning mentality along with a huge load of ability as well.
Absolutely, and I mean, a winning mentality, you can't make it, and Kilkerran-Clonberne, through hard work over several years, and starting, I would think, from underage, have formed and thankfully got over that line in January, winning that game against Mourneabbey, which they had lost previously by that 1 point back in 2020.
All right, let's now pause for the national anthem. for this game today. Good attendance here in Tuam Stadium, and indeed a Galway team that lost last week against Kerry in a high-scoring encounter. They lost that game 3-10 to 3-8. A win there for Kerry, which was revenge for a championship defeat at the hands of Galway last year. Westmeath, well, they will face the Kingdom in the final game. Westmeath in their changed colours today. They're wearing an all-green strip, and Galway in the traditional maroon-coloured jerseys. And it seems it's going to be the Galway team that will be playing from left to right here in the opening half, and will have the aid of that very strong breeze. Already changes been made in the middle of the park for Westmeath. Vicky Carr, the St. Lomans player, going in there to keep Tracy Dillon company in that particular sector. A huge emphasis, as always, on the restart, on the throw-in nowadays as well. And as indeed you can see, Siobhan Dively from the Kilkerran-Clonbarron club, a late inclusion in the Galway starting 15, being named in the middle of the park today as well. Referee Gus Chapman from Sligo just checking to make sure everything is at the ready here for this game. Back at a venue, as we mentioned, where he was here a few weeks ago for a hugely enjoyable Connacht final, where Galway got the better of Mayo in the traditional meeting between the big two west of the Shannon. So the conditions, obviously with the strong breeze, will be a factor here for the opening half. Galway will be looking to try and, I'm sure, establish a nice healthy lead come half-time.
And you can see there Tracy Leonard straight away has moved out to centre half forward, with Ava Noon gone into corner forward. Yeah,
interesting to see those switches. Tracy Dillon from Milltown, one of the players who was looking for that early possession, but as Galway who are going to go on the attack, Shauna Malloy, the cornerback, right up there. They've walked the ball down here immediately, down towards one of the players who came in, Eva Noon, wearing number 26. And they've recycled the ball into a central position there. The block coming in on the Ailish Morrissey's effort. Ricochet is out there towards Lucy Power, the cornerback from the Downs club, coming away with that one. And an opportunity now for Westmeath, playing in that green strip today, to launch their first attack. Possession is going to be key for them in a game, particularly against the wind, where they'll be hoping to consolidate their position here in the opening period of play. Chloe Kelly from Turles Pass involved in the move so far. Now Westmeath work the ball back down to Kelly again. Steady hand passing from them. Tracy Dillon involved. Fiona Coyle is a player that can make a lot happen for them, breaking inside the 45-metre line, getting the ball outside. A referee allowing the benefit of the advantage rule, it seemed initially, but now bringing it back. Kelly Boyce Jordan from Milltown was the player who was really making headway there, and Galway have conceded the free, and it's an early opportunity here for Sarah Dillon from Milltown. Goes short with it. Obviously the wind a factor. Here's Tracy Dillon. Out it comes here to Vicky Carr, looking to try and get the ball back towards the direction of Dillon, but Galway are able to cut out that attack. And really the significance of the breeze there, a factor you would think in Westmeath, not going for the score directly, but it comes here for Galway once again towards Tracy Leonard from Carriffin. Ball being somewhat spilled inside there. Galway have it back, working it into a more central role. Olivia Dively and Ailish Morrissey at the centre of the attack for them today. Still there's loads of scoring threat in this Galway team. First effort going in there, but the accuracy not coming in from Eva Noon, and still we're waiting for the early score. The wind a factor early on.
Yes, definitely. Westmeath definitely went short there. You would think if the wind wasn't a factor, they may have popped it over the bar straight away there for Westmeath. You can see Vicky Carr's, Tracy Dillon really getting into the game, as well as Kelly Boyce Jordan.
Well, the wind is also going to be a factor, you feel, on the Westmeath kick-out, but they have one possession from that restart, which will be significant for them. Nicola Ward, the centre half back, good to see her back there for Galway. Kate Garrity involved as well. Galway working the ball quickly now through the channels here early in this game at Tuam Stadium, and again they managed to get the ball inside that diagonal. One is in there, pushing the back, it seems. Referee allowing the advantage, and Morrissey takes the point in the end. Galway draw first blood. Good ball inside, advantage maybe been allowed, and Galway have got their opening score.
Yeah, super ball in there right in front of Ailish Morrissey, who definitely got a push in the back all right, but popped it over the bar. So Galway off the mark here in Tuam Stadium.
Yeah, off the mark in impressive fashion so far. Westmeath's turn now to almost hit back immediately. Their midfielder is Tracy Dillon. Back there to Amy Alford, the centre half back. Westmeath playing from right to left here in the opening half, and very much against a very, very strong breeze. Ball goes down towards Sarah Dillon. Has some space here, just inside the 65-metre line. Again, they're playing the ball back here towards Amy Alford. She'll be a real receiver for them in many instances throughout the league. Lucy Power, these teams meeting as well in the little sponsored National Football League earlier this year. Tracy Dillon again coming forward here, offloading it outside her. Karen Hegarty again looking to make some headway, all a little bit congested on that far side of the field, and now they get it down here towards the direction of the full forward. Kieran Giles has it. Referee has got the hand out, signalling the direction of the free, and a good response here from the Westmeath ladies. They've managed to win themselves a free over on the far side of the field. Distance could be a factor here against the breeze, but it's been brought in, and it's a much more kickable one now here for Sarah Dillon. So it's the player from St. Lomans who has got the opportunity here to level up proceedings. Almost 4 minutes played in the opening half, and Sarah Dillon from between the 21 and 14-metre line makes very much sure of this kick and gets it in and gets it over the bar, and the teams are level here. A point apiece. Sarah Dillon, good response for Westmeath.
Yes, Sarah Dillon, great player of the match for their intermediate win last year, and the ref now has brought that back. He's not allowing that kick out.
More pressure on Galway, who would have been looking to build up a head of steam here, maybe with the breeze early on, but they've played themselves somewhat into a cul-de-sac, and it's going to be another free in, it seems, for Westmeath, and an opportunity once again for Sarah Dillon. Well, they'll be delighted if they can get this one over the bar and establish a lead here against the breeze. It'll be a real confidence builder for last year's All-Ireland Intermediate champions, now being managed by Michael Finneran, former Roscommon manager as well. That comes off the crossbar and it's in and over the bar.
Yeah, that's a good score there by Sarah Dillon. She'll pop those over all day. Just Galway, I suppose, will want to take advantage of this wind the first half and have a bit of an advantage at half time. As you'd imagine, Westmeath will try and do the same thing in the second half. Shauna
Malloy was the recipient for that kick out that sets this latest attack in progress now for them. Siobhan Divley involved. Here's Malloy again, getting the opportunity to very much attack the side.
Great ball there from one noon into the other, and great run there from Shauna Malloy. Great attacking cornerback.
Doing really well. Once more the ball played into open space. And let's see what Galway can do here. They've really managed to push players up here. Can they get a score? Ball kicked in from distance.
That's a great score now. That's a great score. I think that's Leanne Cohen that may have got that one.
Took it really well while she was right up there with the attack and managed to finish it up between the posts and over the bar. So that levels the game up now at 2 points apiece. Important for Galway to get that score.
Yeah, definitely after conceding down here in, an easy way. Now Galway have the ball here again on the break.
Lindsay Noon very much involved with it. Plays it back there to Eva Noon. Now the shot coming in, but just going out to the right of the post. Referee's whistle had sounded just before that, and it's going to be a free in. Well, you can really see here Lindsay Noon looking impressive early on in the game, and when Galway managed to get the ball down into the Westmeath half of the field, Westmeath are really in trouble.
Absolutely, and it's great. Eva and her sister Lindsay there, they've a great telepathy obviously from playing together with club, and you could just see it there in that example. And hopefully Galway now will pop this one over the bar. Tracy Leonard. Again,
the player who was going to take it from Corofin. So Tracy Leonard, who has been a real sharpshooter for Galway in recent years. Wind assisted here. Teams, as you can see, level at 2 points each. Kicks this one off the left boot, and it's gone wide. Uncharacteristic for her to miss that.
It is uncharacteristic, and no doubt Tracy hopefully will have other opportunities during the game. She had a stormer last week against Kerry. I thought she was one of the better players for Galway, and Tracy can kick off the left or the right. As I said, she's had a couple of problems with injury and back to hopefully to her full potential now this year, and great to see it.
Westmeath doing well to get that kick out away. Lucy Power was the player who made herself available for it at the very beginning of the move, and now they've walked the ball all the way up the field here again. They'll be looking to get Tracy Leonard on as much possession as they possibly can in the middle of the park, and here they come forward now once more. Westmeath in that somewhat unfamiliar looking green jerseys today. Vicky Carr, here's Sarah Dillon, their centre half forward. 2 points so far. Lovely intelligent use of possession. Finding Fiona Coyle, goes down under the weight of the tackle, and once more it's Galway who are merging it. Gavin was the corner back there, getting the licence to come forward. Galway now looking to try and get Olivia Divley, and these players motoring, making space in the inside forward line. Back out here it comes again. Possibilities here for Olivia Divley. out at the edge of the D. Here's Nicola Ward, plays it down here to Tracy Leonard. Angle is acute, cuts back in field, onto the left boot, shoots expertly, shoots in and over the bar. Wonderful score, Tracy Leonard.
Great score for Tracy there, and I mean, from Westmeath point of view, she will need watching today. They will obviously know that coming into the game, but yeah, Tracy can be a handful now when she gets going.
She can certainly be so difficult to stop, and that kick out has gone badly wrong. Lindsay Noon coming in, Olivia Dively coming in, chance of a score, and Olivia Dively pops it in and over the bar. Two in quick succession. For a moment there may have been a goal there. Galway lead by 4 points to 2. They're working the scoreboard with the wind in their backs.
They are, absolutely, and I mean, that was a great turn over there, and I'm sure Galway management there will be very happy with the pressure they put on the Westmeath kick out.
Yeah, that pressure on the kick out obviously a telling factor. The wind also a telling factor. 4 points to 2. Niamh Nolan back there for Westmeath. Now they really have to try and work the ball short here in these conditions in Tuam Stadium this afternoon. Ball plays back to Fiona Coyle, their midfielder. Good interchange of play again, brings it up to Vicky Carr. The Westmeath forward line, as you probably would imagine now, having to drop deep to make plenty of options, and it'll take a huge work rate for them to make sure that they're in striking distance at half-time. Sarah Dellon gets the pass away to Lucy Power. Good play again from Westmeath. Their short passing game has been very effective so far. It's been good to watch as well. That's Karen Hegarty, their corner forward, playing that one in there under some pressure. So it was really somewhat of a percentage ball in on the 45-metre line, and Lindsay Noon once more is the recipient to start off the Galway counter-attack. Noon bringing it forward. Back there is Tracy Leonard as well. Interesting to see the way that Galway are dropping players at high numbers on the jerseys back. Olivia Dively, they're making space for the inside forward line, even with the breeze in their back here. Not afraid to drift players out in the early exchanges. Ball switched down towards this near side of the field once again. Eva Noon has been impressive so far. Lindsay, again, the benefactor to get that pass. Lindsay Noon going right across the field, linking it back again here with Tracy Leonard, and now at the end of the move is Leanne Cohen, and the wing forward shoots, but shoots wide. It's another wide for Galway.
Yeah, Galway they're definitely breaking down possession. Westmeath are using a short ball here, trying to move the ball up the field in the centre of the field. As you said, the wind probably affecting the way they're playing the ball at the moment. Galway taking advantage of winning possession, unfortunately just not converting it on the scoreboard.
Well, they've got another opportunity to have another striker converting. This one again is pumped in long and direct down here towards their inside forward line once again. Galway winning the mark, winning the free, and the referee going in, just spotting, just explaining to the players in typical Gus style. He's been a referee here, as we mentioned, for quite some time now. Plenty of experience, Gus Chapman on the refereeing front, and has awarded that free in. And it's another opportunity here now for Galway. A Galway team looking to get back on track after suffering that defeat against Kerry the last day out. So here they come. Let's see what they can do with this one. In comes the free. Drops in, and that's better. That's converted by Tracy Leonard. Second point of the game from the player for Corrafin. Took that one really well. More like it from Galway.
Yeah, that's a good score again for Tracy. In fairness, excellent free taker, but good pressure on the kick out here with Westmeath under pressure against the wind.
Yeah, Westmeath under so much pressure against the breeze here in the opening half has really given Galway so much of the possession stakes at the moment. And again, they've managed to win the ball back there. They're recycling it back out here. Players lining up here to have a pop at this one. Eva Noon. Again, the shot goes in, but yet again it goes wide. They're clocking up the wides, Galway. Well, that might be inevitable, the fact that they're going to have so much possession here in the opening half, but the fact that forwards aren't finishing so far will be a slight cause of concern for the management team, leading by 5 points to 2.
Yeah, definitely. I was talking to Fiona Wynne there, one of the managers, joint managers for Galway, and she just was hoping they could improve on their scoring rate, basically, from last week.
Olivia Dively must be listening to your words ringing in her ears. She's just tapped that one in and over the bar. Fine score for her. Much better from the Galway forward line. Well, with all this possession, they just need to compose themselves a little bit and take those scores.
Absolutely. Galway have great young players coming through there at the moment, and they're getting the opportunities here, in fairness.
Yeah,
so
very
just
much taking them.
Pop them over the bar.
It's going to be so crucial for them that they can put them away here. Just almost 13 minutes played in the opening half. Galway with a 4-point advantage built up now at this stage against a Westmeath team that have been good on counter-attacks. They've got those couple of points early on from Sarah Dillon, but really surviving in the main on scraps of possession in advanced positions up the field. And they walk the ball back here to Fiona Coyle once more. Involved in the 1-2 there with the centre-half forward, the aforementioned Sarah Dillon, who has kicked those 2 opening points for them. Dillon again coming forward from just outside the 45-metre line. Past that into what was rather heavy traffic. Nicola Ward is there to cut it out. Comes back downfield to Lindsay Noon. Out to Tracy Leonard it comes. Better here from Tracy Leonard. Lovely soccer style there to Olivia Dively. Moving again here up towards the edge of the D. Gets the fisted pass away. Look where Tracy Leonard is. She's going to make sure of the goal. Oh, it was a brilliant save. Ailish Morrissey shot. Rebounded out. And still, what's going to be the end call of all of this? The referee going in. Well, was there a foot block or something inside there? The goalkeeper, I think, got injured making the save, which was absolutely point blank. Well, your money was on Ailish Morrissey there to get the goal.
Yes, definitely. Great build-up play there. Super stuff altogether, but just, I think the ball may have been a little bit high. I don't know where the keeper got the impact of that ball. She's down injured there and receiving some treatment. But, yeah, great pressure by Galway again. Just maybe an unfortunate decision here in Westmeath. Had the ball passed into traffic and the ball was turned over Galway on the attack. Just for Westmeath there, Sarah Dillon, you can see how lively she is anyway since the game started. Vicky Carr there, I noticed her back defending here earlier on, as well as trying to bring the ball up the field. So there's a lot of work. Tracy Dillon there as well, doing very good work.
Well, Aoife O'Donnell, who there's so much focus on now at the minute, just to make sure that she's going to be okay. She's receiving that treatment there as well. The save was absolutely fantastic. Now, you could be looking ahead and say, brilliant work from the goalkeeper. I suppose if you were really, really clinical as a forward there, perhaps those would be the ones that you'd be very much trying to finish low and hard into the net to make the keeper work, to make it life more difficult for the goalkeeper.
Absolutely. As a goalkeeper, you don't care where it hits you as long as you keep it out. But when you're a forward, you know, I suppose you need to be low and hard, as the old saying goes. But when you get the ball in front of goal, then it's a split second decision as well. So in fairness to Ailish, she was doing the best she could there. The goalkeeper seems to be up there now.
She's up on her feet. Let's see what she is now. Is she going to have to come off and come back on? Or let's see what the initial decision is going to be here from the referee. Definitely seems to be, I suppose, taking the brunt of making that save just a couple of moments ago. And now the referee is bringing it out and might even start with a hot ball. I wonder, are Westmeath going to have to make the change there in goal as well? At the moment, they haven't got a goalkeeper on there, so that would suggest to me that she's probably going to come straight back on. Obviously, feeling the effects of that. Indeed, the sub-goalie, I think, is one of the subs is warming up in any case, right down under our position here. Not sure if they're going to be bringing in maybe number 22, Shannon Lyons. I see one of the players who was warming up, but we'll confirm that for see what change Michael Finneran makes in just a couple of moments' time. He's just having words with some of the players back out in the field there at the minute as well, and it'll be interesting to see what's going to take place. The goalkeeper who has just come off there, Aoife O'Donnell, making her way right down under our position at the minute. Probably have to get maybe some running repairs. I think definitely feeling the brunt of that. So it's one of the subs that is coming in there. Now, to me, that looked like number 22. I think that was seemed to be definitely warming up with the bib underneath. So we'll go with number 22, and that is Shannon Lyons, who has been introduced there, and we can confirm that for you at half time. And indeed, the first action she's going to face is very much a defensive one as well, so probably running repairs needed on the goalkeeper as a result of all of that. And let's see now what the outcome is going to be. Long stoppage in play as well, so how the two teams respond after the break of momentum is going to be interesting as well.
Yeah, I mean, if Galway in position here, Westmeath are going to be under pressure as they're so near the goal. But
well, it's a throw in, and the wind really picking up in strength as well, so Westmeath are able to deal with that situation, although it's going to be a real rear guard action for them. Amy Alford back there as well, does well to get her clearance away, and now Westmeath can build here themselves on the counter-attack and come forward. Vicky Carr is their number 10. Got to make sure of these passes there. Tracy Dillon, the midfielder. Dillon getting the pass outsider there towards the direction of Lucy Power. Here's Karen Hegarty. And a player that there'll be a lot expected of in these championship games. Tracy Dillon, first championship outing for Westmeath today, but once again Shauna Malloy, as she has done time and time again today, has been in there and been able to intercept it. She's a cornerback that loves to come forward as well. A brilliant distribution, playing that one in there. Remember, Morrissey had the chance of the goal just a couple of moments ago. This is a testing one for the new goalkeeper in, who dealt with it really well, and just as I say that, she's dropped it but gets away with it. Back out to Fiona Coyle. Fiona Coyle plays it to Vicky Carr. Fisted pass from her through the middle again, as Westmeath with Fiona Coyle, who sprays it out to the far side of the field. Westmeath up for the challenge here. Ciara Blundell back in field again to Tracy Dillon. The midfielder looks around to see what options are available. Karen Hegarty operating deep here. Westmeath having to bring so many of their forwards back into almost defensive positions. Kelly Boyce-Jordan gets inside the 45-metre line, gets that passed away, and it's going to be another free and an opportunity for Westmeath, and they take it quickly this time, and it's Kelly Boyce-Jordan who's in round the back here, looking to inflict some damage on the Galway defence, but as the pass comes back, Galway are there to intercept it again, and the final pass has let Westmeath down on a number of occasions in this game.
It has indeed. When Westmeath have the ball there at midfield, the only forward inside there at all was Sarah Dillon, and they are trying to work it in instead of kicking it, obviously, because of the wind. But unfortunately, the last pass seems to have let them down now on a few occasions.
Leanne Cohen and Olivia Dively heavily involved in the build-up play for Galway in this latest move. Out it comes to Nicola Ward now. Just waits to see what options are going to be available for her. Westmeath are going to be bringing back in their goalkeeper very shortly as well, it seems. Still Olivia Dively. They'll be anxious to get her back on the field as quickly as possible. Ball played in there again with Dively involved very much to the fore here. 6 points to 2, as you can see the scoreline in the background. Galway with a healthy advantage, playing with the breeze on their home turf here in Tuam Stadium this afternoon. Still they come forward in search of more scores, just trying to get that final ball there that could penetrate the defence. Comes back out to Tracy Leonard again. Leonard heading towards the 21-metre line. And now gets the pass out to Eilish Morrissey. She had that opportunity of a goal, let's not forget. Onto the right boot. Elena, and this time she's hit the upright. Well, sometimes you wonder, is it going to be your day?
Yeah, Eilish, I'm sure she'll get there eventually. But yeah, she's had a few misses there. Good reaction there by Westmeath, though. The ball coming back off the bar. Sometimes backs can be caught cold, and they're working the ball out here again now. Yeah,
working it out again and doing well. Kelly Boyce-Jordan come back into that defensive role. Out it comes to Fiona Coyle. She's their midfielder. Coyle playing the ball forward again to Vicky Carr. Real intense build-up from Westmeath, making every pass count. Sarah Dillon comes up towards the 45-metre line, looks to see what options is going to present itself in the inside forward line. Hegarty, live wire, but just look at the way the Galway players are circling back and are Galway working hard, even with the wind on their backs here. Fiona Coyle, very little space for Westmeath. If Galway can maintain their discipline here, the only scores that Westmeath have got so far have come from frees. And now Tracy Dillon, still Dillon in possession. Gets the pass back outside to Vicky Carr. Vicky Carr in turn getting the pass away. It's a little bit scrappy. It's got in round the back there, and once more another move that had so much promise for Westmeath breaks down without either flag being raised, white or green. And now Lindsay Noon sets the ball quickly forward for Galway. Eva Noon, that link play between those two so evident. Eilish Morrissey trying to keep this one in play, but it beats her out over the line and wide. Another opportunity for Galway. Well, Galway hitting the wides at one end, Westmeath just can't seem to get that killer pass at the other. Yeah,
great swarming of here in the Galway defence to our left. Westmeath are working hard. They're trying to get that ball into their forwards, but they're meeting 3 and 4 Galway players all the time. So the work ethic there is really admirable from Galway. Westmeath are absolutely trying to get that ball through, and there's a few players there, Vicky Carr and also Tracy Dillon on the ball here now, that are really putting in an effort for Westmeath.
Yeah, Tracy Dillon and Fiona Coyle, those two midfielders linking up centrally again. Fiona Coyle from Turles pass, bringing the ball forward now. Clara Blundell kicks it in there. Out comes the goalkeeper, Alana Griffin, to deal with it. As somebody who wore that famous #1 jersey for so many seasons, Alana Griffin looks very comfortable in there. Right now, we'll bring you back into that in a moment, because the attack hasn't really gone the way Galway might have liked. Now it's picked up again by Shauna Malloy. But Alana Griffin adds real, I suppose, a calm sense, adds a lot of assurance to the Galway defence.
Yeah, and she's just starting off in there. I think this is her second season starting, and has worked, from Clare Galway Club, has worked from their junior team to their senior team, and now selected #1 for Galway. So great to see herself and Karen Connolly, their goalkeepers at the moment. So Lisa, that was playing Lisa Murphy, that plays the last couple of years there on the sideline as well. So but Alana looks solid there between the posts, and hopefully a bright future ahead of her.
Speaking of goalkeepers, Aoife O'Donnell has come back on there for Westmeath as well, so she's back between the posts as Leanne Cohen brings the ball forward here now for Galway. And once more, real purpose in this Galway attack now as they played the ball down towards Eva Noon. The movement of the Galway forward line has been sharp. It's just the finishing that has let them down so far. Westmeath's work rate has been good as well. Kate Garrity playing the ball outside her here towards Siobhan Dively. Galway again moving it inside here with Louise Ward. Referee has got the whistle out, and again he's going to award a free there for Galway. Well, Galway that time, even with this breeze, there's still a lot of pace. There's a lot of direct running in the Galway attack as well, and that'll be very interesting to see. Obviously the energy levels you would expect would be there for them to take that game a lot more into the mix in the second period to play against the breeze.
Yeah, it will be more difficult in the second half with the weather conditions here, but yeah, Galway doing a lot of direct running, trying to get the ball into the full forward line, and they've been fouled a good few times and are making the most of their frees.
Tracy Leonard, 2 so far, looking to make it 3. Again judges it to perfection and taps it in and over the bar, and it's now 7 points to 2 here in favour of Galway. They've got a 5-point lead coming up, and I suppose worryingly for Westmeath, the longer it goes without a score, the little bit more edgy they are going to become, you feel.
Yeah, and they have to work so hard to get that ball out with the wind.
Yeah, the conditions absolutely
changed his mind here. Now he's bringing the ball forward for Westmeath, but yeah, Westmeath definitely have the harder task trying to get the ball out and through the field, and Galway are working hard.
Yeah, the work rate of the Galway team, as you mentioned, the swarming, the way they're hunting in packs, the way they're applying the pressure has been very, very impressive to watch. Both of these teams will be looking towards the latter stages of the championship as well, as Westmeath come forward. Vicky Carr down again towards Sarah Dillon, kicks that ball crossfield this time, linking up inside with Kelly Boyce Jordan, moves towards the 45-metre line. Here's Fiona Coyle, good running from her. They just have to work the ball so close into the goal against this breeze to really have a shot that would have any percentage of getting a score. That's been the problem for them so far. Clara Bundell, back out again to Vicky Carr it comes. Again, it's time to study it, just watching for the run off the shoulder of Chloe Kelly. Didn't quite spot her, so instead it goes all the way back to Blundell, the corner forward, running at the defence here. They're going to bring it up towards the 21-metre line. Boyce Jordan moving forward, but the referee says it was charging into the player that was there to try and stop her, and that's going to be a free out for Galway. Galway's defence disciplined.
Yes, Galway's defence disciplined. Nicola Ward, they're stalwarts now at this stage at a young age herself. She's experienced too, and I think the Westmeath player might have just lifted her foot off the ground, gone in there to that tackle.
Yeah, that could have been what the referee spotted inside. So as a result of that, it's back with Westmeath again, starting from a deep position in their own half of the field here as they try to manoeuvre some possession into a forward line that have been living on scraps here. 26.5 minutes played in the opening half, but we had that long period of stoppage for the treatment to Aoife O'Donnell, the goalkeeper, Karen Hegarty. Now is the opportunity to take on the defence here. 21 metres, almost 21 metres on from goal. Checks, gets the ball back to Sarah Dillon again. The only scorer, let's not forget, in the game, Vicky Carr. Again, getting the opportunity to move forward here. Westmeath once more winning the free, happy to do so, and this is one surely now that they'll fancy Sarah Dillon maybe having a go at tapping it over the bar, keeping them in the game. It could be her third point of the game, it could be the third point as well for the Lakelands County if they can slot this one between the posts.
Yeah, Westmeath now just need to keep the scoreboard ticking over, you know, and try and get to half time with it being a respectable enough score and set up again then for the second half.
Sarah Dillon onto the right boot and again makes no mistake. Their only scorer so far, 3 points, all coming from frees. But again, maybe on the greater scheme of things, if you look at it there, they're only 4 points down now at this stage, and that's very much keeping them in the game. And to the main, you could argue that the game plan has worked well against the wind.
Yeah, I mean, Galway haven't scored any goals. They've turned over a few balls in possession, which obviously wouldn't be in Westmeath's plan. But yeah, look, I mean, it's 5 points there now.
Yeah, 4. Well, yeah, just one more score for Westmeath has to go up on our graphic. 7 points to 3, the scoreline at the moment.
Yeah, so very little, 4 points, very little in a game, you know, in a game and in a full half. So, I mean, Westmeath, if they can keep Galway down to the, you know, for the last couple of minutes, they'll be happy enough.
Well, here come Galway again. The ball kicked in there by Olivia Divilly, and she taps it in and over the bar. Her 3rd point of the game. Real live wire move again from the Galway team. Plenty of quick hand passing through the channels, and they finish it off. And it's Galway who lead here now by 8 points to 3 at this stage.
Yeah, and that was a good kick out there from Alana there to Caker. She worked it all the way down the field and tapped over then by Olivia Divilly.
Galway now looking to finish off here the final minute and 15 seconds of normal time, plus what I would suspect to be a considerable enough period of stoppage time to be added on. This could be really a moment in time that Galway might go for the kill here and try and put as much distance between themselves and Westmeath as possible. Lindsay Noon looking to cut in field. It's a dangerous one right across the face of the goal. Referee spotted the infringement inside, pointing out again the hand I think caught as the pass was being attempted to be executed, and that's going to be another free. And once again, I think fair to say here that our referee today right up at the play as always, and spotting an awful lot of those technical fouls.
Yeah, but still letting the game flow.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, Gus, he'd be known, I suppose, for that type of refereeing, and you know, it's always good to see it. Lets the football kind of do the talking. Yeah,
it's a free coming in here for Galway, so they've responded well to the concession of Sarah Dillon's 3rd point just a few moments ago, and now they want to put a little bit more daylight between themselves and Westmeath here. And once again, Tracy Leonard converts her 4th point of the game, slots that one between the posts. Good point indeed for her, and it's Galway who lead here by 9 points to 3 at this stage. They've stretched out the lead to 6 points, but I don't think they'll be happy with that. They'll really want to maybe make their superiority count now at this stage, blocking off all avenues from the kick out. Ball lands again 45 metres on from the goal, and Lindsay Noon is there, goes to ground after getting the pass away. But Tracy Leonard, the benefactor of the advantage rule, ball comes out here again towards Eva Noon, and again it goes there, but Westmeath's defence alert to the danger this time, and it's going to be so crucial now for Westmeath to hold on to possession. And just as we say that, to give it away, and Olivia Divilly is looking to extract more punishment and succeeds in doing so. I make it 4 points for her in the game. Westmeath really can't work the ball out of that defensive sector, and Galway are punishing them.
Yeah, and Olivia Divilly, they're just as cool as you like, you know, taps it over the bar. Olivia's gained so much experience with Galway the last few years, and it's only better she's getting, in my opinion. Yeah,
really playing well at this stage now, and the onslaught from Galway continues. Kate Garrity working the ball downfield again. It's a Galway team looking to very much get their championship campaign back on track here in Tuam Stadium this afternoon, and Eva Noon has been impressive. Olivia Divilly has been hugely impressive. Back out it comes here to their centre half forward, Ailish Morrissey, and she's tried hard. Just the score's not coming for her, but she's one of those players you feel that if she got one either in the back of the net or over the bar, the floodgates could easily open.
Definitely, Ailish is a great player, you know, and she boomed on the scene there with Galway a couple of years ago. Great potential in her, and no doubt, as I said, it'll come good for her.
And they're in here for a goal, and a dangerous moment again inside there, and Morrissey again as the shot blocked down. Oh, Westmeath's goal is leading a charmed life. Whistle sounds now from the referee. One of the Westmeath players have picked up an injury there, and well, again, it's going to be another stoppage in play late on here, but the Westmeath defence very much living on the edge here. Plenty for Michael Finneran to think about. The Westmeath manager, former Roscommon manager, former Roscommon inter-county footballer as well, up against a Galway team that made 2 changes from the team that was originally named, that defeated Mayo at Mairead Shoig again, Lindsay Noon, and been mentioned there, Nailish Morrissey. But, well, I suppose last week Louise Murrahurthy kicked 8 points for Kerry in that game. Galway did beat Westmeath in the league earlier this year, 3-13 to 7 points. But I presume a game like that wouldn't have any bearing coming into this match today. It's obviously something to look back maybe on the DVD or the video on.
Yeah, and I mean, there are a few changes from that day. We played them in early March. There definitely a few changes on the Galway team since that day, as well as Westmeath. I think they did a different goalkeeper, Westmeath that day as well. So a few changes in both sides. I wouldn't, come championship, come this
different ball game, different stakes, different conditions, so much different in it. So Westmeath obviously at this stage now will have to do some more running repairs at the half-time interval. 3 minutes of additional time played, but unsurprisingly play still continues. Westmeath again with another player having to leave the field, I think due to blood sub rule more than anything else at this stage now. It's most of the defenders very much showing the battle signs, and goalkeeper, they've really put their bodies on the line here in this encounter, and Michael Finneran will be happy with the commitment that his team have shown. Still they're battling away courageously in there right up till the half-time whistle sounds here. They get a chance to maybe to get into the dressing rooms, reassess it. 7 points down now at this stage. Ball comes forward here once again out towards Mairead Shoiga would be one of the players that they would be looking maybe to bring in from the bench as the game goes on as well. Westmeath coming forward here. Aoife O'Malley, I think, is the player that they've just brought in as one of the subs. Chloe Kelly in there probably as a blood sub as well. Vicky Carr. And still it's Vicky Carr doing well to get that pass away there to Sarah Dillon. Westmeath, how they can adjust with the breeze in the backs in the second half will be key. Sarah Dillon, their only really scoring outlet in the opening half. Ciara Giles does look lively in the full forward line. She'll be hoping that a lot more possession comes inside. Lucy Power had pushed up the field, used the breeze almost to her benefit in getting that pass away. Once more linking it towards O'Malley, but time and time again, as they've done in this game, Galway have been able to overturn that possession in a defensive sector of the field. And again now they come forward looking for late scores here before the half-time whistle is going to sound. Running onto this one for Galway is Eva Noon. Hugely impressive. Slows it down again. Just waits for the support to arrive. Garrity, one of the support players, pushing up there. Back to Noon again. 45 metres out from the goal. Westmeath happy to drop as many players back in a defensive position as the half-time whistle sounds. So 7 between them at the interval. Galway 10 points, Westmeath 3. Let's look at it. Galway played with the aid of that breeze, played well, might be unhappy maybe with some of the wides that they hit in the game, while from a Westmeath perspective, I presume the big thing that Michael Finneran will be pointing to is the fact that they kept a clean sheet, didn't concede a goal, and with the wind at their backs, they feel that 7 points of an advantage that Galway have is not insurmountable.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, from Westmeath point of view, you could say that they stopped 2 goal chances going in there, which definitely would give a bigger hill to climb for Westmeath going into the second half. So they've kept Galway to 2 points only, 7 points, as you said. With that wind, if Westmeath come out and go at it, what I'm admiring about Westmeath is their heads are up. They're absolutely working hard. And you have to remember as well, Westmeath have lost an awful lot from that panel that won that 2021 intermediate final. They've lost their captain, Fiona Claffey, loads of experience there, but you've also lost a lot of you've lost forwards there. You've lost names like Leonie Archibald there in the forwards, Joanna Marr, who came on as a sub that day, and you'd Lauren McCormick, Niamh Spellman. I even see there Anna Jones, who was on the was playing during the league there, one of their forwards, who was a good scorer with Sarah Dillon. She's not on the panel there today, possibly due to injury. So Westmeath, there seem to be a team in transition at the moment, very much. A lot of names there. There are definitely 8 or 9 players down on that panel that won that 2021, and as I said, players of experience, as well as throw in your few injuries. You've Lucy McCartan there, who started that day, a young player as well, is out through injury. So, Westmeath, as I said, they're
big challenge. Yeah,
big challenge. And I mean, at the moment, they're doing fine today, but just going forward, it's probably it's probably a work in progress for Westmeath.
No doubt about it. Many of their followers will say it's all about staying in the senior championship if they can manage that. Well, here they're staying in this game at half-time. Half-time here in Tuam Stadium. It's Galway who lead by 7 points. Galway 10 points, Westmeath 3. We've got second half coverage to come very shortly. Well, you're very welcome back to Tuam Stadium for our second half coverage of the TG4 All-Ireland Ladies Senior Football Championship. Round 2 encounter is Galway who lead here at the interval by 10 points to 3. Westmeath will have the advantage of the breeze in the second half, which is blowing from the town goal out. So it's certainly going from left to right here in the second period of play. And Joanna, well, it's going to be, I suppose, a big ask for Westmeath. They have the conditions at their back. The first 10 minutes of the second half is going to tell us an awful lot, you feel?
Yeah, I think Westmeath will come into the second half now and throw everything at Galway. They'll understand from playing against themselves the factor the wind is. So I expect them to really push Galway here now and put their backs and particularly their kick out under pressure.
It's going to be a huge day indeed for the two teams here. Remember, Galway are coming into this game at the back of a defeat against Kerry last weekend as Westmeath's opening game. Galway beat Westmeath in the league earlier this season. We talked about that in the opening half. They also lost to Mayo 2-8 to 6-6, a game where Mayo went goal crazy. Donegal got the better of them 10 points to 7. Westmeath lost to Donegal 2-11 to 2-6 and to Mayo on a scoreline of 7-22 to 112. That game was in the Dome. Away we go for the second half here. Galway looking to lay down an early marker here. Very much looking to finish off here right from the word go. There's one or two changes, I think, as well. Olivia Dively playing that one outsider to Lindsay Noon. Let's see if Galway can score right here at the start of the second period. Olivia Dively back out again. Here's Tracy Leonard, the player from Corrafin. Whistle sounds of the referee. Late tackle going in there, and I think there's one or two switches maybe that you've come across.
Yeah, I can see we've Aoife Malloy back there now in the half back line. So I don't know who she's in. We weren't notified of who she's gone in instead of.
Well, it'll be interesting to see as well. And I'm also noticing that Amy Alford, the centre half back for Westmeath, is down on the sideline right in front of us here with Michael Finneran. They're the manager as well, so she could be coming in there or coming back in shortly. That to me would suggest perhaps that, well, maybe she picked up a period of the send bin there during the opening half, and she's going to be coming back in, and she's going to be introduced in here by the Westmeath management team as well. So that would to me suggest that the period in the send bin maybe is coming to a conclusion, and indeed that would coincide more or less with the arrival of number 16. I think that we spotted there for Westmeath going on a little bit earlier. Aoife O'Malley, I think, as well. Number 18, I should say, Aoife O'Malley is the player to come back out. So that seems to be the switch that was made by Westmeath. Was probably due to necessity more than anything else. But an interesting start to the second period of play. And it's going to be Olivia Dively for Galway, who is going to kick this free from the hands against the breeze. Psychologically, it'd be good for them to get a score, but it's gone out to the left of the post and it's gone out wide. I'm making about 6-7 wides for Galway in the game so far. But just to pick up on that point, psychologically, if they got the opening score, Galway against the breeze of the second half, it would probably build on their confidence levels a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to see Eilish Morrissey just giving away a free there, Eilish in there instead of Andrea Trill, who got injured just before half-time last week against Kerry. Westmeath here now on the attack, and you can see Galway are trying to filter back the numbers and try and get in their way as they try and work the ball down the field. Well,
Galway had huge work ethic in the opening half. It was very much what their performance was built on here, particularly in defence. They might have an awful lot more of it to do in the second half as Westmeath come forward here. Karen Hegarty, Westmeath in the green colours today, in case you've just joined us here at the start of the second half and was wondering what happened to their normal maroon and white, changed of course due to the clash with Galway, who are the home team today. Coming out with that one was Siobhan Dively. Well, I know Westmeath manager Michael Finneran felt that she was maybe charging a little bit as she was coming out with the ball. One of the Westmeath players has hit the deck as well, and it's going to be a stoppage right at the start of the second half. I tell you, one or two bodies have been put on the line there. No quarters been asked or given, but it is championship football after all.
Absolutely. Siobhan was coming out with the ball there. In fairness, I think she just did a turn and due to the height difference there, maybe clipped the Westmeath player. I'm not sure there was anything intentional.
No, I don't think there was anything malicious about it. I think you're quite right that the low centre of gravity of the Westmeath player there, who was Karen Hegarty, compared to Siobhan Dively, that probably was a major contributing actor to that, or factor, I should say, to that particular collision between the players as well. Back here it comes in any case for Galway, an opportunity for them to build from the back again. Cooney to Nicola Ward. She's their centre half back now, remember. That's Olivia Dively, again having the opportunity to go running forward. Galway are going to have to carry the ball in short and close to the goal. Nicola Ward loses out there. Malik Fagan going back to cut it out there, the player from Westmeath. And now Westmeath moving the ball themselves through the channel. Sarah Dillon. Some of the Westmeath forwards that have been starved of possession, including Clara Blundell, or Clara Blundell, will be looking to get something going for themselves here early in the second period of play. Dillon again going in, but losing out. And Galway get the long relief and clearance in, down towards Lindsay Noon, far side of the field for her. Plenty of space to attack here. Westmeath have a numerical advantage back. That's a percentage one played in there towards the forward line. Siobhan Dively, the player who's been invited, or Eva Noon been invited to race in after it. Galway managed to work the ball into a more central position here. Back out it comes to Olivia Dively. The corner forward, Tracy Leonard, waiting for it. Has it now, still Leonard. Westmeath getting plenty of bodies back. Leanne Cohen, fisted pass away. And still there's possibilities here. The midfielder, Louise Ward, is up there right with the attack. Lindsay Noon, they're still trying to make headway. Referee's whistle has sounded, spotted the foul, and that's going to be a free in. Well, we probably touched on it and identified that Galway have it in their locker to bring a strong running game, and really in conditions like these where they're against the breeze, it's very much, you would expect, going to be to the fore in the second half.
Definitely, the way Galway are lined out, they're a fit, young, running team, and definitely that's in their locker when it's needed. I think the change there at half-time was Kate Gertie off for Aoife Malloy there for St. Fursey's, and the great ball out there from Emily Gavin straight up the field that time to Lindsay Noon. Yeah,
and the resulting free is tapped in and tapped over the bar. That's a good start for Galway for the second half. They'll be quite happy to have got that score away. Kicked in and over the bar for them as always by Tracy Leonard. 5 points are making for her in the match thus far, and she's been hugely impressive. So more pressure on Westmeath now at this stage. They really need the next score, you feel?
Yeah, absolutely, and great work again there by Vicky Carr, winning that kick out and still on the run here with the ball. She's been definitely one of the players to the forefront here for Westmeath, bringing the game to Galway and working very, very hard. Her
work rate has been absolutely immense throughout the game. Westmeath really need a score. Sarah Dillon in possession now, gets onto the 14-metre line. Galway quite happy to force her wide over the main stand side of the field. Chloe Kelly from Turles Pass, again deciding to make that run in along the end line. Has to recycle it. Dillon gets the ball through the hands, eventually to Vicky Carr, and Vicky Carr gets the shot away, and the wait for Westmeath's opening score for play continues. Well, they were very heavily dependent on Sarah Dillon in the opening half. She kicked 3 frees, and we were probably thinking, well, that could have been the conditions there, but I suppose the scores, where they're going to come from, that's going to be a big challenge for Westmeath in the second half.
Absolutely, and even looking at the last few games Westmeath have played, you know, they are very reliant on Sarah Dillon. Excellent player, but in this game she's kind of has to play a little bit further away from goal, which really probably doesn't suit Westmeath.
Galway again with the opportunity to hit on the counter-attack here. Charlotte Cooney from Clare Galway. Opportunity just out the road for her to impress here, very close to home turf. Again, they've managed to get the ball inside to a forward line that has got so much talent. Eva Noon, despite the fact she's wearing number 26, was included right from the get-go on the Galway team today. Pass comes back here again to Siobhan Dively. Here's the full forward, Olivia Dively. Good interchange of play. Leanne Cohen. They're working it here right up to the edge of the D. Galway. Siobhan Dively trying to break the tackle. Olivia is there again to take the pass. Lovely interchange of placing. Now Galway might be looking for a score at the end of all of this, and eventually is kicked in and kicked over the bar by Lindsay Noon, her opening point of the game from the player from Kilkerran, Clonberne, and she took that one really well and finished it off. Good Galway move. They're working the scoreboard against the breeze here, which is significant.
Yeah, they are, and in fairness to Westmeath, they are trying to do what Galway did in the first half and crowd the Galway players coming in. Westmeath are winning their own kickouts here now at the moment, and on the attack here again.
12 points for Galway, 3 for Westmeath. Westmeath haven't added to their tally despite playing with the wind in the second half. Galway have added on 1 or 2 points more, and that will certainly fill them with a lot of confidence as they're going forward. And again, they got the ball onto Olivia Dively, making steady progress, gets the pass away. Here's Ailish Morrissey, has tried so hard for that score, and again she gets the shot in, and again it's batted out by the goalkeeper. Well, maybe she got caught between two minds whether to go for a goal or a point there, but the goalkeeper for Westmeath, Aoife O'Donnell from Killucan, was able to bat it down, and again another chance comes and goes.
Yeah, unfortunate there wasn't a Galway forward, I suppose, near when she batted it down, but her own players reacted well there. A Galway free in here again now for that. Number
22 is coming in for Galway as well. They're making a change early in the second half here. Roisin Leonard from Carrafin is the player who is going to come in there for Galway. Let's see who's going off. Player just making their way here over towards our commentary position.
Lindsay Noon coming off.
Lindsay Noon coming off. Scored a point in the game as well in the second half. So Lindsay Noon is the player who makes way. Well, I presume there's so much competition for places in that Galway team. That's maybe one of the challenges here for the management team, to make sure that they can keep as many players involved at game time as possible, keep as many people happy as they can as well in it. No doubt about it, they're a team here that Manus Bracknock and Fiona Wynne will know that there's so much potential in the camp here, and they'll be needing all those players as the championship moves on. A win here for Galway today would, you feel, give them a great opportunity of advancing to the quarter-finals. It'll all come down to the final game between Westmeath and Kerry next week. That's another game you'll be able to see with us here on Saturday next, and that ball going out over the sideline there, and it's going to be a sideline ball for Galway. As you mentioned, they look to try and get momentum going here in their championship campaign. The Connacht champions, the team that beat Mayo here in the Connacht final, come forward with Leanne Cohen. Cohen getting the opportunity to run again at the defence, gets that one off to Morrissey. Has put in an absolutely massive amount of work for Galway. Difficult to stop in full flight. Olivia Dively playing that one off. Nicola Ward has got up to give the attack a little bit more support. Involved for the second time in the move there. And here's the player who has just come in, and what a start and what an introduction that could be for Roisin Leonard. First opportunity, first kick, and it's straight over the bar. Well, they're making it look simple against the wind.
Absolutely, and great score there from Roisin Leonard. She's had a difficult couple of years now with the Galway panel, and an absolute stalwart. Herself with her cousin Tracy had been starting for Galway for several years, so great to see her back, and that's a great score for her there.
Real confidence booster as well, just Absolutely. After coming off the bench and getting a score with virtually your first kick of the game. So let's see what Galway can do. They've also got Eva Noon, as you see there, number 26, but she started the game. Once more, it's going to be Roisin Leonard who kicks that ball,
super pass
isn't
there.
it? Picked out so many, or took out so many of the covering players. Olivia Dively now at the end of the move, and everything all of a sudden is beginning to move up into gear for Galway now. 5 points from Olivia Dively in the game, and at this stage here, they've stretched out the lead to 14 points to 3.
Yeah, we were saying Westmeath would go at Galway, but Galway now have come out and are playing strongly, even against this wind. So I know Westmeath have a long way to go yet, but it's looking good for Galway here at the moment.
Well, from a Westmeath perspective, maybe subconsciously, you think if you put so much effort in against the breeze that you might be in the game and you might be maybe expecting it to do too much for you in the second half. But anyways, here's Giles bringing the ball forward here. Kieran Giles, the full forward here from Mullingar Shamrocks, plays that ball outside her. The support play has to get up there a little bit quicker, you feel. Sarah Dillon, referee, has spotted the infringement, and that's going to be a free. And in fairness to him, he's been very, very consistent on this right from the get-go today.
Yeah, the hand slapping across the body, he's not letting that go at all. Yep. And in fairness, it is a free, so a free into Westmeath here now. And
Sarah Dillon, who has kicked Westmeath's 3 points in the game so far. Well, it's stating the obvious how dependent they are on her. Left knee, as you can see, bandaged there as well as she prepares to take this free. Wind at her back and measures it to perfection. Over the bar for her. 4th point of the game, keeping Westmeath in it. But really, they're 10 points down now at this stage, and as you can see there, we're ticking well into the opening quarter. There's more movement on the Galway substitutes bench as well. I think it could be Gemma Burke could be coming in from Anna Down very shortly. No, in fact, it's number 27. It's Hannah Noon they're going to be bringing in. Another one of the Kilkerran-Clonberne contingent making their way on to the Galway team. And I suppose you look at so many players from that particular club, and they were missing maybe for parts of the league, and they obviously have to impress the county management when they come back. But you know something, class is permanent, and it always rises to the top in the end, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, that's 3 Noons on there now from Kilkerran-Clonberne. Absolutely super young players coming through, and only add to this Galway panel Shauna Malloy there, who has great experience here with Galway and is such a determined player coming off there for Hannah Noon.
Well, we were talking about it a little bit earlier today before we came on air, maybe if it's going to be difficult to see who would break that stronghold that, say, Dublin and Meath have on the All-Ireland Championship at the minute. And, well, Cork are one of the teams. But I suppose when you look at Galway, and I know you might be a little bit reluctant to build them up for obvious reasons here, but when you look at the potential and the talent that's there, and you look at Kilkerran-Clonberne there as well, and their representation on this Galway team, you just feel that if they got their act together and got some momentum, they're going to be hard to stop.
Absolutely. And, you know, as most of the country know, Galway had a difficult start to this year's campaign. You know, there was early on in the year they were managerless and had to, you know, try and rearrange.
Oh, there could be another chance for them here, and Ailish Morrissey has kicked it in and kicked it over the bar. Her opening point of the game. Speaking of Kilkerran-Clonberne, she's up and running. It's a score her performance deserves. But you're right, the management, there was the change in that. There was obviously the missing contingent from Kilkerran-Clonberne as the game, or as the season, in the early part of it as well, due to the club commitments. But it just seems to be coming nicely to the boil now. A provincial title secured. You would think 2 points here today is going to put them in a great position to go forward to the quarter-finals. Now, we're not preempting what's going to happen in Killarney for a moment next week, but this could be you could almost look as a turning point for them here today.
Yeah, well, as we all know, Galway had to win this game to progress in the competition. It's Westmeath's first day out, and they have a chance next week as well to put their say on this group. Fiona Wynne and Manus Brannock there, you know, they've tried to put this panel together and try to build momentum, you know, through, as I said, probably a difficult few months there. So this team hopefully is just getting started this season, and as I said, a very young team, like Westmeath, a very young team, and both panels, I'd say, will have a lot to say, you know, in the future.
Here's Morrissey again. That score now certainly will help her confidence. No win. Ball playing out again to Tracy Leonard, another one of the Kilkerran-Clonberne contingent there. Siobhan Dively back to Olivia Dively. She gets the shot away. Goalkeeper's out. Oh, real danger here, and there's the goal. Well, it's been coming for some time, hasn't it?
It has indeed. Olivia's shot blocked down there.
Siobhan to finish it,
picking up on the rebound and sticking to the back of the net.
Yeah, Siobhan Dively for the record with the goal, but well, it was an unfortunate error there, and that really at this stage now makes the score 115 to 4 points. You very much feel that it's going to be a mountain too far for Westmeath to climb at this stage. Back they come Kelly Boyce Jordan. They know they very much could be playing for pride now here. Almost the concession of that goal has taken the shackles off the back, and they're putting their best move of the game so far here together. 45 metres out from the goal. Sarah Dillon. Again, it's that final ball going inside, and it allowed Louise Ward to go in there and intercept it, and Galway looks so dangerous on the counter-attack. Here's Olivia Dively, played a huge part of the goal. Nicola Ward is getting up front every chance she can as well. Charlotte Cooney. Back out it comes here to Tracy Leonard. Running here inside the D, takes the return, 14 metres out from goal now, or almost 14 metres out. Again has to check that run. Ball again, attempted pass played in over the top. And once more, they were no doubt about it, looking for Eva Noon. Referee again going in and blowing the whistle and pointing for a free in. And you just get the feeling here that it could be a very long last 14 minutes plus injury time here for Westmeath in this game.
Yeah, as I said, they've played with their heads up all game, and I hope they will continue to do so, you know. But obviously when you're at the other end of that sort of a score, you know, it is difficult to keep going. Here
comes Tracy Leonard once more. Oh, I think that's just gone the wrong side of the post. It's gone wide. Well, it was against the breeze. If anything, I think maybe the strength of the wind has died down a little bit here at the start of the second half as well. But really, you can take nothing away from the goal Galway performance. They just maybe took a little bit of a while to get going, but once they did get up and running, they're certainly going through the gears nicely now and leading here 115 to 4 points at the moment. On the attack again they come. Ball played here towards the direction of Tracy Leonard, where the Galway subs moving on. Again, going forward there was Hannah Noon. The referee judging that it was a foul of the Westmeath player, and it's going to be a free out. So for Westmeath at this stage, is one eye already turning towards the Kingdom of Kerry next week, do you feel?
Well, this game, I know there's over 15 minutes left in the game, or less than 15 minutes left in the game. But yeah, you would have to think now it would take a lot for them to come back in this particular game. They have an unenviable task, really, of going down to Kerry next weekend. But it is their second game of the championship, and it's their chance to, as I said, put their name in the group here and give themselves a chance to stay going in this competition.
And it's always going to be difficult for them. They're the only team in the group that's got 2 away games, one here today, one in Killarney next week. It's I know something that the manager Michael Finneran was a little bit upset about when he seen the fixtures coming out originally at the start of the championship. But however, it was always going to be difficult in the intermediate championship. Remember, Galway's first game here at home today. Match last week was in Burr, and that's gone out there towards Louise Ward. And Galway moving here with Roisin Leonard, scorer on her mind, and she takes it, slots it in between the posts. Second for her. She's like a player that's well, sending out a statement to the management team. Okay, you've started to be on the bench on this one, but I feel it could really make an impact.
Yeah, as I said earlier, it's great to see her getting back there and getting her opportunity to impress the management. Just on your point there about the trip of Westmeath to Kerry, yeah, it is true. Kerry have had a home game, Galway have had a home game, and Westmeath have been asked to travel twice, so I can appreciate the manager's concern about that particular point.
No doubt about it. When Suzanne Buckley is the player who is coming in, number 5, Niamh Nolan is the player who makes way. The wing back coming off, having a quick handshake with manager Michael Finneran in the process as we wait for the kick out to come again here over to the goal to our left. And once more, Aoife O'Donnell beaten once today, but made one, I suppose, heroic save in the opening half to make sure that the Westmeath goal was kept intact during that opening 30 minutes. Now they got the opportunity to attack, but again, it's just that final ball in there, easily dealt with by Charlotte Cooney. Sarah Lyons is the full-back and captain on the Galway team, and the full forward is Olivia Dively. Again coming forward with plenty of options now for Galway. Their fitness levels very much telling against the breeze here. They're also warming up as well. Eva Deverin from Moy Cullen, who was due to start the game in midfield. She could be coming in very shortly as well, you feel, as Hannah Noon brings the ball down this near side. Eventually it comes back out to Tracy Leonard. Gets the pass back to Leanne Cohen. Just a little bit over elaborate there from a Galway perspective. And well, I suppose the advice would be simple. You just need to keep it simple.
Yeah, overcomplicated there.
Not charging, no. Referee says play to continue. A little bit maybe suspect of maybe on the verge of charging, but the referee quite happy to give Westmeath the benefit of the doubt this time. And now they bring the ball forward here themselves, working it in here towards their wing forward, Kelly Boyce Jordan. But once more, it's Galway who are able to come away with it. Olivia Diffley bringing this one forward here for them. The Galway transition from defence to attack, that's been impressive to watch right throughout the game so far.
Absolutely, and Emily Gavin there, great interception, and 1-2 there with Olivia Divley then, and we have the ball here in the half-forward line again for Galway. Yeah,
Galway really moving it well now through the channels at this stage. Quite happy with the way the game is beginning to pan out for them here. Ailish Morrissey, who scored a point in the second half, has been real outlet for them to hit with that direct ball, particularly in the opening half. A lot more possession-based performance here from Galway in the second half against the breeze, but very, very effective. Olivia Diffley, 5 from her in the game thus far, and this time it's been overcarried. I suppose the error counts unfortunately beginning to, well, mount up a little bit here for Galway, and that's that change is about to take place that we're telling you about a little bit earlier on. Daverin coming in, also been introduced there is Fabian Cooney from Clare Galway. So Galway really now getting the opportunity. Leanne Cohen, one of the players to make way, that they're very much, I suppose, introducing fresh legs, emptying the bench and getting a right good opportunity to have a look at the talent that's available.
Absolutely, and great to see Fabian Cooney back in the panel there again, and back in getting some game time. Sister Charlotte there, who just seems to be making way.
Yeah, she's a player who is coming off as well, Charlotte Cooney, the second Galway player to be withdrawn in that double substitution being made here for them now at this stage, as we take into the final 8 minutes of normal time here at the end of the second half. Galway in a very, very commanding position, leading by 116 to 4 points at this stage, and no sign of them really letting up or taking the foot off the pedal here in the closing exchanges of this game. Once again, ball played onto that far side. Olivia Diffley screaming for it. Shot coming in from distance, long way out. Umpires watching it carefully, but has it gone out past the post? It has, and it's going to be another wide, and another kick out coming here for the goalkeeper, Aoife O'Donnell. Well, Westmeath's ability to win possession round the midfield sector has almost diminished, you could say, somewhat in the second half, hasn't it? Yeah,
Siobhan Divley and Alva Davern brought on there now, who's great energy, great legs as well for running through to the forward line. So there's a lot of work there Galway are doing at midfield, and it is becoming that bit harder and for Westmeath, all right.
Yeah, so you just really get the feeling it's going to be a little bit more difficult for them here in the second half. And again, I suppose we touched on the whole aspect of almost charging with the ball. Well, that decision went against the girls from the Lakelands County, and Galway.
Great ball in here now.
Lovely ball in over the top, floated in brilliantly. Now can Galway get the score perhaps that such a quality of possession to the inside forward line would deserve? They're managing to recycle it back out there. Davern, the midfielder, has been brought on. Now there's possibilities for them. Players lining up here to have a shot at this one. Roisin Leonard eventually is the player who is going to do so. She's been massively impressive after coming off the bench. 3 points she's hit in the game so far, and well, a real contender, I presume, for a starting position now for the remainder of Galway's games, you get the feeling.
Yeah, and it's great to see that, because Roisin has massive experience, and she's up there with Olivia and Tracy with excellent experience as well, surrounded then by the youth coming through from Galway underage, and you know, all those working together. It's, you know, it's signs are bright for Galway for the future. Yeah,
it's a 16-point advantage that they've built up now at this stage here. 1 goal and 17 points to 4 points, and once more now it's going to be Westmeath with an absolute mountain to climb in the closing stages. Chloe Kelly, in fairness to her, continuing on, making sure that they try and bring the fight right up to Galway, right up to the end of this game here. Kelly again, and the referee there with us, and spots the infringement, and it's going to be a free in. Linesman has got the flag up here. Another change taking place. Westmeath are bringing in Shannon Lyons, is the player who is going to be going in there for them.
Her second turn on the pitch today.
Absolutely. Played a little bit earlier as well, with the injury to the goalkeeper, and it's the corner back, I think, was coming off this time. Malik Fagan, the player who is coming down here and taking her place on the sideline. Been a difficult afternoon for the Westmeath defenders, a team that won the All-Ireland Intermediate Championship last year. We can now see if Sarah Dillon can lob this one in round the danger zone. It goes. Dangerous ball breaking inside there once more.
Emily Gavin there again, safe pair of hands.
Yeah, doing really well and taking the ball on and covering it well. So they're going to move it now over towards this near side of the field here. Strong running again from the midfielder Davern, who's been brought on, who's been introduced as a sub here in the second half. Davern trying to get the ball away over down towards this near side of the field as Westmeath continue on with their attack, and they manage to recycle the ball out here. Again, it goes towards the direction of their wing forward, Fabian Cooney. Tries to carry the ball into deep. Galway just quite happy lining up so many players here for an opportunity of a score, and eventually that shot goes in but goes out harmlessly wide in the end. Well, there was the opportunity, they just couldn't take it.
Yeah, great run by Alva Davern there. She must have covered 40 yards of the pitch. Just the wind, I'd say, there that, you know, affected that shot, dropping short. Yeah,
well, certainly impacting all over the place. 2 Westmeath players went in there as well, and both on the ground, as you can see, picking themselves up. Their midfielder seems to be okay in Tracy Dillon, but a little bit of concern maybe over Kelly Boyce Jordan. Again, anything to do with the head injury, the referee quite rightly stopping the game immediately, making sure that everyone was checked out and that they will be okay. So we're 27 minutes now at this stage, almost into the second half. Again, there'll be some stoppage time to be played at the end of the game. But Galway will be quite happy to have got this victory, have got this performance under their belts today as well, and it's going to very much, I suppose, give a lot of food for thought in relation to the, well, to the, I suppose, the players that will be available going forward here for the rest of the season for them. A lot of competition for places in their ranks.
Absolutely, and you know, the talk around Galway, you know, for the last couple of years are these young new players coming through. Underage, you know, we've had success at under 16 and minor level for the last good few years, and it's great to see a lot of these girls here now, either on the panel or starting out on the field today, you know. And you know, youth brings, you know, energy and optimism, and you know, as
there was no fear
earlier, absolutely no fear, and that winning mindset, as you were talking about earlier, you know, and that's invaluable, and it gives great energy then to girls who are there a while, you know, and have the more experience.
Yeah, they were beaten in the quarterfinals of the competition last year by Mayo, 115 to 111 in McHale Park towards the end of the summer, the August, of the All-Ireland quarterfinals were played. Many seen that perhaps as somewhat of a surprise, but never really too much between Galway and Mayo, and particularly Mayo in their own backyard. Difficult opposition to beat. Now let's see what Westmeath can do. Can they get the shot off here from Vicky Carr? And again, it's gone out to the left of the post and it's gone out wide. 1 point with the wind in the second half. That'll be desperately disappointing from a Westmeath perspective.
Absolutely, and I mean, we've had great performances from Westmeath there today. I mean, Murren Scally there at full back has had a great, has had a good game under difficult circumstances. Tracy Dillon midfield there with Fiona Coyle. Vicky Carr, I thought, has been very, very good today, and Sarah Dillon obviously with the free taken as well as her just general play. She's just maybe a bit, she's at number 11 there today, just maybe a bit far out, you know, to make a massive difference to, you know, to the Westmeath attack.
Well, Galway were in a group last year in the championship, somewhat different with Donegal and Kerry in it. They emerged top of that with 6 points, but we'll be quite happy maybe just to go through perhaps maybe as the runners up this time round. That's all depending that if Kerry can beat Westmeath next weekend, a Westmeath victory in that game, if Michael Finneran's charges can overturn it, well, it'll certainly open up all types of possibilities in the group. But in any case, Galway now very much looking to make sure of victory here today, and this is a fine move all the way down the field, but just that final pass from Hannah Noon not finding the intended target there, as Westmeath now have the opportunity to build from the back again, and the ball worked out to Lucy Power, their cornerback, deep in her own half of the field. So maybe somewhat showing the effects of that last challenge there. She's won a free. Options available down on the near side from Aoife O'Malley, the player wearing number 18. Again has to check her run. That pass somewhat fortunately stays in Westmeath possession. Lucy Power again. Referee once more awarding the free. Into injury time we go at the end of the second half. The result well and truly gone beyond question at this stage. Once Galway got that goal in the second period of play, it was really always going to be an uphill battle. Strong running from Chloe Kelly late on, just not able to get there. Conceded the, well, looks as if she was conceded the free with the jersey pull, and now the referee is going to bring it back, and again quite clearly explaining what his decision was for. But Galway put in a very, I suppose, workmanlike performance in the second half, hugely effective, and have shown here that they know how to play against conditions as well as oppositions.
Yeah, I think it was important for Galway after losing to Kerry last week to put in performance here today. Obviously, the result, they had to win today, but very encouraging for the management. All their subs they've brought on have played well and will definitely be putting their hands up for places. But the performance, I think, you know, putting their scores over the board, you know, against Kerry, they missed a lot, although they create a lot of chances. So I think definitely they'll all be encouraged today now by not alone the result, but by the performance.
Davern, one of those subs that they brought in here. Let's see how they can finish off in style, Galway. They might just want one or two more scores. Here's Morrissey. Again, had been put under some pressure on the far side. Still manages to get her pass away. Good possession football here from Galway. Late in the second half, so many talented players like Hannah Noon been introduced. Back out it comes to Siobhan Divley again. Such a really efficient performance against the breeze. No questions about it from Galway. Laid down an early marker. Tracy Leonard Again, trying to cut along from this near side. Gets her pass in field, and it's going to be fisted in and fisted over by Siobhan Divley in the end. Takes her point, added to the goal that she got earlier on. 1-1 from her, rounding off a fine personal performance.
Yeah, Siobhan Divley in there today instead of Alva, and as I said, has been, had a short break there with Galway, but back today, and absolutely a great performance. Physical, very, tall physical player as well, which Galway need, and 1-1 to her credit as well from midfield isn't half bad.
Yeah, fine score indeed. 1 goal and 18 points now to 4 points. It's Galway in the ascendancy. Over 2 minutes of injury time have been played here in the second half. A lot of substitutes have come in as well, so all that has to be taken into consideration by the match official. As Gavin brings the ball forward for Galway. Still, they're intent on getting more scores, not giving up here, not resting on their laurels. Olivia Diffley, strong running from her. Well, she'd been tugged back. Oh, the referee says she overcarried it. Well, there was a jersey pull that I clearly spotted in there as well. Be interested to get your thoughts on it.
There probably was there, all right. Olivia was off like a racehorse, but Gus was nearer than we were, I suppose.
Well, you have to give him the benefit of the doubt, but it'd be an interesting one if the game was a lot closer. There might have been maybe a lot more, objection, let's say, from the Galway ranks on that particular one. But still, nonetheless, the result well and truly seems to be going Galway's way here. This would be their day to get their opening couple of points on the board in the championship. And again, Westmeath just finding it difficult to get any traction up the field at all. Mia McDonald, another one of the subs, has come in there from Mullingar Shamrock. Sarah Dillon, one of the players who is very much keeping the show on the road here, just runs into tackle. There's, I suppose, almost a physical difference with the way Galway, a senior team now for so many years. The strength and conditioning of the Galway girls looks to be, as you probably would expect, almost on a different level by times as well.
Yeah, I mean, Galway would have worked on that for the last several years. I know that'd be a big part of their game. Now, I'm sure Westmeath, it's nearly every county now, obviously has a strong strength and conditioning programme. But I suppose there are maybe a few newbies there, coming up from the Westmeath panel, and, Galway have shown a good, strong physical performance today.
And the difference between senior and intermediate as well, let's face it, so much less time on the ball on the senior ranks compared to maybe intermediate. All that takes a little bit of getting used to, and there's the full-time whistle. 1 goal and 18 points for Galway, 1 goal and 4 for Westmeath. Give me your thoughts on this one, Joanna. Comprehensive victory in the end for Galway.
Yeah, comprehensive win. As I said, they'll be happier with the performance now. Undoubtedly a different level of competition than last weekend's game, but still they had to go out there today and win, and for their own heads then they had to put in a performance. They wouldn't have been happy losing to Kerry last week, although Kerry were, they deserved the victory, but Galway just didn't really get going last week. They created a lot of chances but didn't convert the chances they got. They came back into it late on, but Kerry probably were deserving winners on the day. So hopefully this performance, Galway will take this performance and carry that on to hopefully the next stage of the competition, where at least they are they're in the mix now, depending on the result next weekend. Yeah, good victory indeed for them. Joanna, an absolute pleasure to have you on board today. Thank you very much indeed for all your commentary. We look forward to working with you again. So there you have it, 1 goal and 18 points to 4 points. The rest of our team here, Keith Kilroy on camera, Rory O'Brien was our director and producer, and from myself, John Lynch. Thanks for watching on a day where Galway are up and running in the TG4 All-Ireland Ladies Senior Football Championship. They've beaten Westmeath, who still have to play Kerry. Full-time scoreline, Galway 1-18, Westmeath 4 points from Tuam Stadium. Good afternoon.